What is good, everybody? So I woke up this morning, and the first thing I do is I hop on Twitter. I scroll the timeline like any productive human being does, and I come across this video right here from Fletcher, and it just ruined my entire week. It's Monday morning. This video just ruined my entire week because I feel like I'm going nuts. Like, what are we doing here? So obviously, the headline is Saints head coach Dennis Allen on the hot seat in New Orleans if New Orleans doesn't win a very weak NFC South this season. So let me go ahead and expand this video and press play and react to some of the things that are being said here.
Is it playoffs or bust? I mean, obviously the frustration here with Dennis Allen. For so many years, you knew Sean Payton was a great coach. You knew Drew Brees was an amazing quarterback, and they were like a safety blanket for this organization. Dennis Allen is still the great unknown. Derek Carr is still kind of an unknown.
What? Hold on. Dennis Allen is the unknown. Derek Carr is still an unknown. What? What? Are we how are these guys unknowns? This is Dennis Allen's fifth time entering a season as a head coach of a National Football League team. His fifth time. There is nothing unknown about that. He's a loser. He is a loser. He is 20-43. How is he an unknown? Derek Carr, it's his 10th season as a starting quarterback. It's his 10th season as a starting quarterback. He is not an unknown. He too is a career loser. Period. These guys are not unknowns. Let me continue.
If they miss the playoffs in this weak division with this weak schedule, is that enough to prompt massive changes this offseason?
Well, it depends on what you mean by massive. Do you mean a coaching
like a head coaching change?
I would think probably not.
Why not? And I love Catherine. She does awesome work. Followed her for a long time. She does a good job covering the Saints. But this is absolutely insane to me. I mean, if they miss the playoff, think about the question he asked. If they miss the playoffs in this weak division, the division where everybody sucks, with one of the easiest schedules I have ever seen as a football fan, the Saints' schedule this year, so far and up to come, is it's like it's. I'm stuttering because this video made me so mad. The Saints' schedule is insanely easy, and he says if the Saints miss the playoffs, don't win the division, is it time to basically fire the coach? And she says no. Like, let's let her continue.
Especially if they're right there. Now, I would understand where the fan base is coming from and feeling like there should be.
Yeah, you think? You understand where the fan base is coming from? Duh.
I think at the very least there should be massive changes in the assistant and maybe coordinator ranks. But I'd be surprised if they have a winning record.
There should be massive changes in the assistant and coordinator rank. Yeah, obviously. But this guy on the screen right here is the one who is responsible for that. He's seen how it played out last year with Pete Carmichael, who I assume she's referring to in terms of assistants or coordinators. And he chose to retain the guy that Pete Carmichael didn't even want to be Pete Carmichael did not even want to be the offensive coordinator anymore. This guy chose to retain him anyway and basically beg him to keep the job because no other coach wanted to come and work for Dennis Allen. That's the cold hard truth of it.
And they just barely miss the playoffs if they don't make any changes. But
if they barely miss the playoffs and don't make any changes, Jesus Christ. Again, weak division. You have by far the most talented team. Easy schedule. I mean,
if they miss the playoffs in this division, that's a big problem.
Do you feel the same way? How do you feel about if they get in? Obviously, it's a different story. But if they fall short, again, same question. With the schedule they've played and the division they're in, is that enough to make them do something they don't do and do something that may be a little bit more knee-jerk?
So he's asked the same question. Basically, if they miss the playoffs, should they fire Dennis Allen?
Yeah, it depends how they fall short. If they narrowly fall short and it looks like everyone's bought it and is still playing hard.
What? If they narrowly fall short, it doesn't matter. They still fall short. And by the way, I'm of the opinion that this guy should be fired even if he makes the playoffs in this division, because it just doesn't matter. You have to be able to take those rose-colored glasses off and see through the BS and realize the Saints are never going to win anything of significance with Dennis Allen as the head coach. I cannot preach this enough. It does not matter. A wild card or a first round playoff exit. Woohoo, right? I mean, are we striving for just to be mediocre here? Or I mean, what are we doing? Like, so let him continue.
And they just have some bad luck with injuries, bounces, etc., lose some close games.
Bad luck with injuries, etc., bad bounces of the ball. Buddy, up until this point, the Saints have been one of the healthiest rosters in the NFL in terms of it being, week 10 and above in the NFL season. Now, obviously, Carr is banged up and Marshawn Lattimore, Michael Thomas now is hurt. But up until this point, they have been relatively healthy for an NFL team this deep into a season, and they are still 5-5, having lost multiple games that they had no reason losing.
Mickey Loomis is a general manager who really believes in stability. He likes to view the Saints and as a team that operates like the Pittsburgh Steelers. And
right there, the Saints are not the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the guys over at the Saints Block Party podcast, shout out to them. They point out that Sean Payton and Drew Brees covered up so much of the Saints organizational crap for so many years. The Saints think they're the Steelers organization. They are not. Period.
When we saw Sean Payton have 3 consecutive 7-9 seasons, and in 2014 to 16, the Saints stuck with him, ended up going to the playoffs 4 years in a row after that.
Yeah, okay, the Saints did have 3 7-9 seasons in a row, but guess what Sean Payton did before that? He won a freaking Super Bowl for a team and a city and an organization that was thought to be basically impossible to win in. I mean, are we really doing that now? Sean Payton went 7-9 3 seasons in a row and come back and made the playoffs. Dennis Allen is not Sean Payton. You see Sean Payton right now in Denver has the exact same record as Dennis Allen and the Saints with far less talent. I mean, what are we doing, man?
And probably should have made the Super Bowl in the 2018 season. So, I don't see a coaching change at the top if they finish, respectably but narrowly miss the playoffs. But
how do you finish respectably yet narrowly miss the playoffs in this division and this schedule? Those two things does not go together. You can't respectively barely miss the playoffs and it be like, oh my God, dude.
Everything falls apart and goes off the rails, and you never know.
He is Brett
Everything has already fallen apart and gone off the rails.
Martell with the Associated Press, Katherine Terrell from ESPN.
Again, Brett Martell, Katherine Terrell, great work, guys. You do great work outside of this dumb, moronic video. This video, I mean, maybe I'm just going crazy. Maybe the Saints are truly driving me insane nuts, but this video was just, it flabbergasted me, and I don't use that word often. This is just insane to me, but I mean, whatever. Appreciate you guys watching. Peace.